I want to tap into the money early today instead of putting it on the back burner. Trump, as promised, and this is one of the reasons why I like Trump. The reason that I like Trump is because he's going to absolutely execute, right or wrong, whether you agree with him or not, he's going to execute on the thing that he said that he was going to do. He is not missing. And so even before he get into office, and he said on day one there will be sweeping changes, he says that he is going to implement tariffs, wide-reaching tariffs across China, Mexico, and even Canada. It's time to pay the piper.
Time for the hot topic of the hour. President-elect Trump says he will issue a day one executive order slapping tariffs on Mexico, Canada, and China until they stop the flow of illegal immigrants and fentanyl into America. Fox News' Madeline Rivera is live in Washington this morning with more. Madeline.
Hi, good morning, Maria. This could all have a major impact on trade. The threats are also the biggest indication yet that President-elect Trump intends to move forward with a tough talk he espoused during the campaign trail. He wrote on Truth Social, as one of my many first executive orders, I will sign all necessary documents to charge Mexico and Canada a 25% tariff on all products coming into the United States and its ridiculous open borders. Trump also says we will be charging China an additional 10% tariff above any additional tariffs on all of their many products coming into the United States of America. He's accusing Chinese leaders of failing to follow through on its promises to impose the maximum penalty for drug dealers.
Let me read these posts real quick. I'm going to read them in their entirety. As everyone is aware, thousands of people are pouring through Mexico and Canada, bringing crime and drugs at levels never seen before. Right now, a caravan coming from Mexico composed of thousands of people seems to be unstoppable in its quest to come through our currently open border. Now, I've been reporting on this, and I've been showing y'all how Claudia Sheinbaum, who is Sheinbaum, let me not say Sheinbaum, who was the recently elected female president of Mexico, who was at the G20 summit with Biden, now is allowing and watching, and they're letting the police officers and customs and border patrol agents shepherd them through Mexico to ultimately get them over into the United States of America before Trump even takes office. Now, this caravan is thousands and thousands and thousands of people. Maybe I need to go ahead and pull that up. Give me a second. Let me find that. This caravan is thousands of people. I'm going to pull that up for y'all real quick. Yep, that's it. So I'll pull this up real quick, courtesy of the AP. But this caravan is thousands of people, and they have this migrant caravan that's basically headed to the United States of America. For those of you that may not be familiar, I've been covering this, and I've been covering the migrant crisis for literally over 3 years now. They on their way here, and this is what the caravan looks like. So, nobody. They're allowing for people to basically walk over into the United States, travel all through Mexico. So what's happened? Mute this for a second. Look at the agents. Look at the border patrol. Look at the police officers over there in Mexico. Look at the people being shepherded through. They're basically providing a pathway into the United States of America. So, number one, let's address these liberals, because these liberals, for some reason, don't think that it's illegal for them to cross illegally into the United States of America. So when Trump then says, "Hey, man, listen, we're gonna have to put some respect on the United States of America's name," people like AOC and all of these overly liberal people that think that it's okay for our borders to be overrun at taxpayers' expense, and we've literally had tens of millions of people come over into this country illegally, and then they want to start talking about a separation of family. No. We need to get to the root cause of this in the first place. Mexico and places like it is allowing for migrants to navigate through their country and use their country and their borders to ultimately exploit the United States of America, including people letting out their jails and all of their criminal organizations in which these gangs and these illegal migrant gangs are now infiltrating up to over 16 cities and creating crime organizations that's then going to resonate in Americans' lives over the next how long? We don't know. So now we have to deploy American tax dollars, ask Congress for more money so that we can chase these people down and then deport them. And then at the same time, we listen to all of these liberal people crying and whining about why are we deporting people? And New Mexico governor, for example, goes on MSNBC yesterday and says some of the wildest things. So this is what you can then see on a regular basis, because I like to use visual references because we then are able to really, really pay attention to what's happening in these streets. When we have a visual, look at the concrete truck driving. Look at the people. They just feeling good. Talking Spanish, got their hair done, got their cornrows. Black women is going to be sitting here talking about how their culture is being appropriated because women got cornrows coming over here and they not even black and all of this stuff. Well, this is what y'all can look forward to. Your taxpayer dollars, all of the monies and the hundreds of millions and the billions of dollars over there in Chicago, New York, so on and so forth, that's being given. He got a Prada book bag. I don't even know if that's real. That's a Prada book bag. Look, and they all are part of diversity, equity, and inclusion. You see black, Mexican, Venezuelan, Cuban, Haitian, Nicaraguans, Chinese. All of these people are feeling comfortable. Look, they just leave their trash on the floor, babies. They got American clothing, book bags. They traveling fervently over into the United States of America. And look, I see guys over here ready to crash out inside of the chat right now. Let her through. She kind of bad. We don't have to become passport bros. Oh, all of the passport gals can stay. Nope. You also get Jesus coming over here too. And Jorge. You don't just get her, you get him too. Looking like the Wicked Witch of the West and the Cowardly Lion and the Wizard of Oz. Yes, you get him too. You don't get her without him. For every one of her that the passport bros want, you also get 20 of him. Yep. Kicking in y'all doors, kicking in the dough, waving the fofo. All you hear is, Papa, don't hit me no more. For every one of her, you get 20 of him. See his eyes? See the bags under his eyes? See the teeth, the unbrushed teeth? You get Jose, Jorge, and Jesus. You get all of the haze that come along with it. So let's go back to what Trump was saying. Trump is saying, listen, right now it's a caravan that's coming through Mexico composed of thousands of people, and this has been going on for a long time, thousands of people. It seems unstoppable because the Mexican authorities are allowing for it to happen. He says on January 20th, as one of my many first executive orders, I will sign all necessary documents to charge Mexico and Canada a 25% tariff on every single product that comes into the United States of America and its ridiculous open borders. This tariff will remain in effect until such time as drugs, in particular fentanyl, and all illegal aliens stop this invasion of our country. I don't even know how this is not a bipartisan agreement. We need to give President Trump a round of applause. Both Mexico and Canada have the absolute right and power to easily solve this long simmering problem. But guess what? It's big money, big business. We hereby demand that they use this power, and until such time that they do, it is time for them to pay a very, very, very big price. He goes on to say, I have had many talks with China about the massive amounts of drugs, in particular fentanyl, being sent into the United States of America, but to no avail. Representatives of China told me that they would institute their maximum penalty, that of death, for any drug dealers caught doing this, but unfortunately, they never followed through. And drugs are pouring into our country, mostly through Mexico, at levels never seen before. Until such time as they stop, we will be charging China an additional 10% tariff above any additional tariffs on all of their many products coming into the United States of America. Thank you for attention to this matter. And can we give our incoming president elect Donald Trump another round of applause? Because all I've heard from the Biden administration and the Harris camp is what we need to do or what is going to happen or how she's prosecuted transnational gangs. But I have not seen anything done. No solutions, no stopping. All I see is flights going over our heads, Spirit flights flying back and forth. I keep seeing migrant caravans coming over here, and I keep seeing them aligning with New Mexico and California to let these people into our country. Let's continue.
Tariffs on all of their many products coming into the United States of America. He's accusing Chinese leaders of failing to follow through on its promises to impose the maximum penalty for drug dealers. Canada, Mexico, and China are the top 3 largest trading partners of the United States, so the tariffs could have implications for several industries like automakers, farmers, and food packagers. The reaction from international leaders
What in building America
was swift. A spokesman at the Chinese embassy in Washington says China believes that China-U.S. economic and trade cooperation is mutually beneficial in nature. No one will win a trade war or a tariff war.
That's usually what happens when you got the upper hand and you're making all of the money and everything is one-sided. You say, hey, nobody is going to win. We just need to make sure that we get some cooperation in this thing.
It's unclear, though, if Trump intends to follow through with the tariffs or if the rhetoric is intended as a negotiating tool. Canada's deputy prime minister says they'll continue to discuss immigration with the incoming administration, adding Canada places the highest priority on border security and the integrity of our shared border.
It's funny how everybody started to get in line when a man that really means what he says and says what he means and is going to do what he said that he's going to do because you know that he did it the last time that he was in office. Isn't it funny how everybody starts to get themselves together? Now everybody want to start to get themselves in line. You know what? We place the highest priority on border security and integrity of our shared border. Hey guys, hey guys, let's be cool with this. No big deal. We're going to figure it out. Funny how they couldn't figure it out. Nobody could figure it out for the last 4 years, but everybody want to start to get themselves together and start figuring it out. Amazing.
It's an example of how governments and companies are rethinking their strategies in the wake of Trump's re-election. Maria.
All right, Madeline, thanks very much. Maddie Rivera there. Here's what Trump's incoming Treasury Secretary, Scott Bessent, told me about Trump's approach to tariffs.
Donald Trump's ready on day one. When he wins, January 20th, he's going to hit the ground running, and it's going to be a growth agenda. Tariffs are going to be part of that. He was the original tariff man, and he did it to raise revenues and to protect American industry. Donald Trump has added the negotiating leg, and I think given Donald Trump's credibility on tariffs from Trump 1.0, he will hit the ground running on 2.0, and world leaders and business executives will know he means business.
Oh, yeah, and he's keeping that promise with this announcement overnight, Chris, that he's going to be slapping. These are additional tariffs that we expected anyway on China. And, of course, Mexico and Canada, he's got the USMCA deal in place, but he's got the right to renegotiate that, and it looks like he's going to do just that, Chris.
As he should. It's already working, Marie. We already heard that the Chinese car company saying we don't want to build another factory in Mexico because we're concerned how Trump will perceive it.
Y'all see what's happening? Chinese car companies are saying, listen, we're not even going to build another factory in Mexico. Now, how does this affect the economy? Well, what it does is it protects American automakers. That's number one. Number two, it incentivizes automakers to invest more in the United States of America. Number three, it then hurts Mexico, who is basically opening up their borders to continue to let illegal migrants into this country. And Mexico is letting other countries such as China use them in order to circumvent and then push products into the United States of America that's not supposed to be here in order to avoid tariffs. So now that Trump is in office and saying we're going to use a level of transparency, we're not going to take no money under the table, we're not going to do what Biden and Kamala Harris did, we're going to get tough on these people because we have a trade deficit from the United States of America, and it's going to be some pain and some suffering for the people that's not doing business the right way. Well, this is what you start to get. You start to get results because Mexico is now going to suffer and they're not going to have the economic boom from people leveraging and using them in order to make sure that the United States of America is undermined. And so Chinese companies are saying, hey, man, we're not doing business in Mexico no more because Trump is in office. Why do you think that so much money was flowing into the Biden-Kamala Harris campaign? Why do you think that super PACs were spending so much money and donors were spending so much money, not betting, but wishing, hoping, praying that Kamala Harris and Biden stayed in the office? I'm trying to tell you that these foreign companies and these rich people were benefiting so much at the hands and the behest of U.S. taxpayers and residents that they wish, they were hoping that Kamala Harris and Biden stayed in office because they were able to take advantage of and utilize taxpayer dollars while at the same time benefiting from United States of America and their spending power. So all of the money is leaving the U.S. Chinese companies and everything, and the borders is wide open. They can continue to siphon off American jobs. And then y'all sitting there talking about, but the costs are lower. Well, you basically sacrificing the future of yourself and your children to do so. So they basically was just taking advantage of y'all. Over the last 16 years, we only had 4 of them that we actually was benefiting off of the policies that America was implementing. And y'all sitting here talking about we don't know who we want to be president of the United States of America. Oh my God, he's a fascist. Wake up. Wake up. We finally got a man that stand on business and masculinity. You think that they would have looked at Kamala Harris and they would have been trembling in their boots? Get out of here, bro.
And it's showing us that he's using it as a negotiating tactic. It's working extraordinarily well. And frankly, if the U.S. cars are having 100% import in China, it's still disproportionate. This is going to tighten up the border. This is going to stop that flow of illegal drugs, these things that he ran upon. And he has the power to do it. And I think he's willing to use this stick. And I think we'll land at a lower percentage rate. But I think some tariffs are completely appropriate.
Jonathan, it's amazing to me how everybody's getting in line. Even before Trump gets in office, you're seeing a think twice about having a Chinese factory in Mexico narrative going on there in Mexico. You've got the Russians saying, I'm ready for a reset with America. You've got a handful of companies in.
Hold on, let me say something. Geo Black, I see you in the chat. Thankfully, I am not one of these other YouTubers because I stand on what I say when I say that I don't live in an echo chamber. And I allow for people to say some pretty wild stuff. Last night on the Q show, I seen you in the chat. You were saying some wild things, bro. You were saying some real wild things. Now, you know that I love my people, and I think that the chat is my co-host. But for some reason, y'all take my kindness for weakness, and y'all push it all the way to the limit, and y'all just be saying some of the most egregious things that I've seen in my life. I was watching last night. Now, unless somebody got a different profile of you, you were saying some wild stuff last night to me. And you were saying it to the people that was on the panel. I don't know what's going on with you, bro. I don't know if you crashing out. I don't know what's happening. And again, I don't censor people, so I always like for people to be able to give their thoughts whether they agree with me or not. But again, I don't know if y'all really appreciate the fact that I let people and I allow and I'm really heavy on my moderators for not censoring people and saying some of the wildest stuff. But I said to myself that I was going to mention this if I seen you in a chat on the Millionaire Morning Show. And again, I know that you're here and I know that you got a difference of opinion and I know that you actually enjoy the content. So I'm not going to censor you, but I just want to let you know that I'm paying attention because I like to bring people to the front of the congregation. So this is not a warning. I'm not warning you. What I am saying is that I'm aware. That's it. I'm aware. You were saying some wild stuff last night. Some crazy. I don't know if you was high. I don't know if you had a bad day yesterday. I don't know what was going on. But you were saying some insane stuff last night. So I just want to let y'all know I love my people. And I pay attention. Don't nobody censor him. Don't nobody time him out or nothing like that. That's not what we do here. We rock out with everybody that got a difference of opinion. But y'all got to be aware. Y'all can't listen. My one rule is you can have a difference of perspective and a difference of opinion. But we don't want to get overly disrespectful and saying some of the stuff about different people that's not even content creators that's on there. That's all I'm saying. Let's just rein it in. Let's be a little bit more mindful, because I know that we can say what we want to say and we got freedom of speech, but not freedom from consequences. So just let's try not to be crazy disrespectful. You ain't disrespectful today on the Millionaire Morning Show, but yesterday on the Anton Daniels channel, it was crazy.
America saying, I'm going to take my supply chains out of China and build everything
Say
in.
Tom, stay saying my name. That's because you want the attention. Listen, I get it, bro. And we're going to get back to the show. I get it. I know that there's certain people that like to be the class clown and they want the attention. And so sometimes in order to get them to calm down a little bit, I'll say their name and I'll say, oh, listen, man, look, we see you. Don't crash out or whatever. And so what that does is hopefully it incentivizes you to just be a normal person with normal disagreements and not look for all of the attention and trying to be the class clown in order to disrupt everything. So I get it. You know what I'm saying? I look at all of the people and I say, okay, well, that one needs a little bit more special attention. That one is banging his head against the wall because he wants to be paid attention to. This one had problems at home last night, and so he want to be loved on. I get it. All of the people are different, and different people need different things in order to feel themselves. So, I know that there are certain people that's going to crash out. And after like a month or so, if I don't mention their name, then they'll be trying to get my attention. Oh, look at me, you crazy. I hate to, I get it. I'm with it. So I said your name now. You good. And so now you can get back to normal. I'm with it. Let's get back to the tariffs.
America.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, there's all these people, particularly on the left, that look at President Trump and say, oh, wow, he's lost his mind. What is he doing? He's doing something when the left has done nothing for the last 4 years to address what he's trying to do. So I commend the president in terms of what he's doing. But also keep in mind that these tariffs, they're level playing field tariffs, right? I mean, these countries are also imposing tariffs on our country as well. So, it doesn't just flow one way. The other thing is China has been long overdue for tariffs to be going up. I mean, they have lied, cheated, stolen, flooded the market since 1999 at least. They need to be held accountable. I don't think 10% is high enough, Maria.
Wow. Cheryl, what do you think?
Look, 80% of exports from Canada and Mexico combined come to the United States. To say that these two countries are concerned about these threats is an understatement of the morning. But I will also add that it's reported that Justin Trudeau actually called Donald Trump yesterday, about 2 hours after this announcement. They've got to be very nervous, and they should be. As far as China, look, China has continued to sell the chemicals that make fentanyl. They sell it to the cartels. The cartels move it to the United States, and we have a fentanyl crisis and more than 200 deaths per day in this nation. It has to stop. Enough is enough. And if this is the way to do it, whether it's a threat or whether it goes through, fine. The other component of this is the price, the consumer prices. Are they going to go up? Yeah, you know what? Maybe they will. But I think it's up now to these two countries and to China as well.
I think that this is a good thing. More importantly, it's great because it actually follows through on the promise that he made on the campaign trail. And far too often, we see politicians say different things while they're campaigning and they don't even try. They don't even try. Now, I know that it's some things that can't be done sometimes because, you don't have the funding. You may not have all three legislation, all three branches of government. You may not have the Congress. Congress fight against you. That's some of the stuff that Trump was dealing with during his first time in office, even though he still was able to achieve a lot. Imagine the amount of things that he can achieve now that he's back in office. And so considering that Canada and especially Mexico is highly dependent on the United States of America for exporting the majority of their products over here into the United States of America, they should be very, very careful and they should tread lightly. So shout out to Trump.